Are we having fun yet? Or what, man? This is why we put up with the Gary Genslers and the Elizabeth Warrens, because we know after those battles, we're going to get to these times where the profits are just crazy. And I think we're just getting started. Now, there's a lot of discussion out there. Did XRP break all time high? And yeah, most people agree all time high was about $3.40. But to me, it's $3.84. And let me tell you a little story why. 2018, January, XRP was cranking while the rest of the crypto market was kind of done with its bull run. And we're passing Ethereum, we're making an assault on Bitcoin, and all of a sudden, you have CoinMarketCap. They decide to change how they value XRP. They say, we're going to pull out the Korean market because that ain't fair. That overvalues XRP. Like, I don't care how you value market cap and the coins, but be consistent. And in the midst of this massive momentum, all of a sudden XRP drops from $3.84 down to like $3.43 or something like that. And the price didn't sell off. Nothing happened. It was just this playing around with how they calculate things. And that just zapped us of our momentum. We've been putting up with this kind of nonsense for a long time. So to me, guess what? It's 384. We're going to crush that and go much higher. And so I'll go for that higher price before I recognize a new all-time high. But in truth, I think we've already passed it. Now let's take a look at this. I mean, just a historic day for blockchain. U.S. Congress just flips the script, turning crypto into a legislative priority. It's all about money. It's all about power. Not one, but three major bills are on the move, and together, they're really laying the foundation of the next phase of institutional adoption. This type of thing is going to favor the blockchains like XRP Ledger. Genius Act, finally, passed the Senate, passed the House, strong bipartisan support. It's heading to the president's desk for signatures. This is going to require a one-to-one reserve for backing stablecoins, publicize monthly reserve audits, allow both federal and state licensure pass. This legitimizes and standardizes stablecoins and opening the door for compliant issuers like Ripple, like Circle, and traditional banks. We know they're coming to really jump in here and build the future. Clarity Act. This is the one that excites me the most. I thought we were going to have to wait a long time for this. It just passed the House. It's headed for the Senate. And this clearly splits oversight between the CFTC for commodities, things like XRP, and the SEC for securities. And you know what? It's okay. We're going to want to do some work in the security realm with blockchain. There are going to be some really exciting systems and products. We need to have a path for compliance there as well. And then this builds the regulatory rails for exchanges, custodians, and token issuers, just removing all the gray zone. The gray zone we had to deal with in the past, unlike some of our more lucky contemporaries over there in the Ethereum ecosystem. We're just going to see a lot of building because of this. It provides legal certainty needed for ETFs, custody, and product rollout. It's happening. And then lastly, Anti-CBDC Act, narrowly passed the House. Let's get this through. We don't want CBDCs. They are digital prisons. I was just saying, don't hold up, everything else in crypto on that. Deal with that separately, make it happen. Yay for that. Looks like it's progressing along. Now, this is big for XRP. What happened today? And that's why you see XRP being the biggest benefactor in terms of price appreciation. XRP Ledger stands to benefit massively. Stablecoin growth, XRP can serve as on-demand liquidity and settlement layer. The Clarity Act boosts confidence in supporting XRP and other crypto assets across markets. Anti-CBDC Act ensures private rails remain dominant. This advantages platforms like Ripple and other people that want to build on public blockchains. Institutional adoption accelerates. Banks are going to issue their own stablecoins and are going to onboard a lot of people to blockchain rails, requiring liquidity bridges. You have Bank of America coin, JP Morgan coin, all these different coins, these stable coins. Well, you got to make them interoperate. That's a great place for XRP to be here. Tokenized dollar products built under the Genius Act could seek rapid settlement routes and use XRP's AMM, the XRP Ledger's AMM. So we're going to see all of this on-chain liquidity. We are being piped directly into TradFi, and all that value can flow onto and off of the blockchain efficiently. ETF clarity, stablecoin clarity, this equals synergy for this blockchain and for XRP, the asset. Institutional demand for compliance, ready crypto XRP. It is going to fly under this type of environment. Make no mistake here. Now we see XRP surging, and it's not just the XRP army pushing it. Critics, numbskulls, they're saying XRP has no use case, but institutions, they clearly disagree, and they're buying big. XRP, where it should be, sitting at the third largest crypto by market cap, backed by rising future interest. Those products are popular. Just wait till you see the spot products when they launch. We're seeing public companies allocate 9-figure treasury reserves in XRP and coming out with XRP ledger strategies. And I put this in here, and I did it on purpose. It's tied to ISO 20022, RippleNet, Fedwire, and stablecoin RLUSD. I'm one of the ones that will harp all day long. XRP is not an ISO coin, and I stand by that today. But when you have a payment system globally that's being upgraded, that's going to advantage, assets that are in that payment flow. You have a modernized payment system, and RippleNet's going to get a lot of customers from that. They're going to be able to interoperate easier, and XRP is going to be used in those types of modern systems. So while XRP itself is not an ISO coin, it is going to be a benefactor of an upgraded payment system. It's undebatable. This cycle is not about hype. It's about regulatory clarity, liquidity, and access. That's what's so important. Yes, we want people to self-custody their crypto because that's where the power is. But, if you give people access, if they want to buy stable coins or they want to buy, XRP in an ETF, that creates liquidity on the blockchain that we can use for all the things that we want to do is self-custody actual users of the blockchain. That's great. And while the rest of crypto fights regulators, Ripple is building bank partnerships, stablecoins, and settlement rails. You don't have to love XRP. That's the thing. But most smart traders out there are finally starting to understand it. And you see the difference there. XRP Ledger Dev Alert. This is a big one. RippleX is pushing for order in the MPT, multi-purpose token frontier with draft standards here. And I think King Solomon did a report on this on his YouTube channel. If you didn't see it, you might want to go over and check it out. Might have been a year ago, something like that. But every multi-purpose token would now include a ticker, a name, an asset class, and an optional icon description and links, and also subclass info. So this gives us a lot more data on chain to classify, to search, MPTs, wrapped assets, RWAs, gaming tokens, meme coins, and currently, these types of things use unstructured JSON. So this breaks search, display, UX across different wallets and DEXs and things like this. This new schema, it's going to bring discoverability, rankability, and it's safe to integrate. And so RippleX proposal on ledger metadata, optional URI for rich off-chain data. So you can have some of that stuff off-chain. It doesn't need to be decentralized, but you can pull it on, to really add to the experience. And it's voluntary, but SDKs will warn if metadata is missing. So it kind of lets you know, do they have, all the makings of a serious project here. Ethereum finally doing something. And this is good for all crypto. Again, rising tide rises all boats, and it's good for my wallet too, because that Ethereum was really a stinker. We see here explodes past 3,400. I think at the time of recording, it's about 3,600. It just gives us more breathing room, more runway here to really get going. ETH just posted its biggest breakout of this year, up 8.2% over 24 hours, 17.8% this week. 726 million in daily ETF inflows, a new record. This is good. We want to see ETF inflows within the altcoin space. Let's get some more altcoins across the finish line. XRP, Solana, Cardano, things like that. Institutions are piling in. We saw World Liberty. That is the president's investment arm, 10 million in Ethereum buys. SharpLink, $343 million worth of Ethereum purchased. You have Tom Lee heading one of these strategy type funds for the Ethereum ecosystem here. Analysts are now eyeing 7 to 10,000 targets if momentum continues to build. The Ethereum bull is back, and this time it is Wall Street driven. Solana doing well. Solana smashes 176 as ETF odds hit 99%. It's going to happen. You're going to get an XRP ETF, a Solana ETF, Cardano, your big ones. They're getting across the finish line. Solana is surging up 5.7% to 176, flipping Ferrari in total market cap, 89 billion. Polymarket again saying 99.7% chance of a Solana ETF in 2025. That's the thing here. SEC urging issuers to resubmit apps by the end of July. Approval may come sooner. The Solana ecosystem right now, 4 billion in deposits, 3.1 billion in DEX volume, second globally here. Solana isn't just back, it's leading the way. Not my favorite chain, but I've always recognized it's going to have a great bull run here. You can't deny the stats, that's for sure here. Institutional crypto adoption just hit a new gear. Standard Chartered just became the first tier 1 bank to offer spot Bitcoin and Ethereum trading directly to institutional clients. They're going to expand that offering. You best believe it here. ETF inflows are breaking records. All coins are exploding as Bitcoin dominance holds at 60%. I think we'll start seeing that dominance come down, and you really will see a swell within altcoins. We're not early anymore. This is just the beginning of mainstream crypto finance. It's happening. All the things we've been talking about for a long time. Interesting. The U.S. economy continues to defy doubters. Markets are surging, and the data backs it up. June's retail sales crushing expectations. Jobless claims are dropping to a 3-month low. Corporate earnings are beating forecasts despite Fed uncertainty and trade noise. Consumers are spending and businesses are holding strong. The soft landing, well, it's looking like it might happen. We'll have to see. But things as of now are looking pretty good. Now, we're seeing a lot of chatter out there. President Trump eyeing to fire the Fed chair here. President Trump reportedly floated the idea of firing Jerome Powell in a closed-door GOP meeting, but later walked it back, calling it highly unlikely. Behind the drama, President Trump wants an aggressive rate cut up to 3 full points. This is the deal here. I'll tell you this. I don't think this is going to happen because this would be a court battle. And by the time they got done, his term would be up anyway. He's only here till March. But I think this. I think if the president nominated someone that was reasonable, I think Jerome Powell would step down and let them take over. Now, if he tries to throw a crony in there, ain't going to happen. They're going to fight you in court. We'll see it play out here. But something still may happen. You don't want to cut rates too fast either. Like going too fast up, like Jerome Powell had to panic last time. That ain't good. You don't want to go up. You want to be controlled. You also don't want to, cut too quickly either on the way down. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.